This comment reminds me of the story of the divine masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti, in Hindu mythology. So the story goes, and this is really the long story short, but Shiva was focused on his own spiritual attainment, and that's why he went up to Mount Kailash, and all he did was sit in stillness and meditated. At the time, there were a lot of women, so the legend says there was a lot of women that wanted to be with Shiva. So they were just trying to get his attention. But again, Shiva was just focused on himself. He's like, I am here to sit in stillness and I want to connect with God. And all I care about is my spirituality. And Shakti, which is the feminine counterpart to Shiva, the divine masculine, also was interested in Shiva, but she was like, I'm going to focus on my own energy because I know that if my focus is on Shiva, that's not going to get his attention. She's like, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to become my highest self. And I'm also going to focus on my own spiritual attainments. What she did was she meditated. She focused on herself. She really brought all her energy to herself. She didn't send her energy to Shiva, but she focused on her own frequency. And so what happened when she focused on her frequency? Because again, this was the frequency of love and abundance and joy. And it's really like those very high vibrational frequency. She focused on herself so much that it kind of woke Shiva up from his slumber, so to speak, because he felt that Shakti became his counterpart. He was like, whoa, who is this other being with the same frequency as me? Literally, Shakti focusing on herself woke Shiva up from his meditation because he felt like, I must know this being or this person that is vibrating at the same high frequency as me. And so the story goes, Shiva actually woke up from his meditation in search of Shakti, which is his equal counterpart, right? So this is the story of that balance of divine masculine and feminine energy. But what Shakti needed to do to get Shiva's attention was not send messages to Shiva, was not, like doing the whisper method and be like, okay, I need him to know that I exist. I need him to know that I'm interested in him and I love him. She never did any of that. What she did was focus on herself. She's like, I'm going to become my highest self. And from that space, I know that I'm going to meet my counterpart. If that's Shiva, I'll be extremely happy with that. But if not, I'm going to meet somebody on my frequency. So they became like naturally aligned with one another because they were focusing on their own energies, on their own frequency. And apparently the story is, Shiva met Shakti and they like became one and they united and they like made love and it was like beautiful and all that stuff. But this really makes me think of the specific person manifesting or when you're interested in someone, because most of the time we're so focused on being picked and like being chosen and being loved that we don't even care about our own energy, right? Like even if our specific person is at a lower frequency, we are willing to actually lower our standards, lower our boundaries just to be chosen by a specific person. We don't even care if this person is on a higher frequency or a lower frequency. All we care about is being picked by this person. And this is when our focus becomes skewed. Like we're not even thinking about ourselves. Like we are willing to abandon ourselves just to be picked by our crush, just to be seen or to be chosen or validated by our crush, right? Like the focus becomes them and not us. And this is when misalignment happens, right? Like this is when we're like, oh my God, I like this person, but he's just not giving me the treatment that I want or I desire. And this is when the anxiety comes up. This is when that fear of abandonment comes up. And like all of these, childhood and past wounds come up because we're not focused on healing ourselves or looking at our wounds, but we just want to bypass all of that and we just want to be picked. And I used to make a lot of content on like specific person, right? Like I used to talk a lot about how to be chosen by your specific person. And honestly, people are still watching those videos. Like on YouTube, I'm still getting so many comments on those videos, but I don't resonate with that teaching anymore because my focus is not on anything external now. I teach manifesting by coming back to the self. I actually have a new course that's called the Anti-Manifesting Manifestation Process. And I don't even like to call the process manifesting. Like I don't even resonate with the word manifesting anymore. Like when I went to the Joe Dispenza retreat, I had such a massive spiritual awakening to the point where I'm like, wow, how funny that at some points in my life, I thought that I was bigger than God, or like I thought that I knew better than my soul. And this is not coming from like a place of, you know, I'm placing all of my power to God or power to soul, because again, we are God and like we're soul. But it's more like I am allowing the creator and soul to lead the way. And so I think the first step to manifesting now, I don't have a better word for it right now, so I'm just going to use that word, but manifesting from the soul feels differently. And I must say it is very similar to the law of assumption in the sense that whatever you believe to be true just becomes your life. But it's a little bit more nuanced, like it's a little bit more deeper because again, like when you connect to soul, soul will lead the way, right? Like soul knows so much more than your mind. And so I am talking about this new program again and again and again because I'm like, I need people to understand that there is no technique to do. There is no technique to manifesting because we've almost like again focused on just hustling and just trying to get and get and get, and we're like forgetting to remember who we are. When we truly come back to self and remember who we are, remember that we're already whole and complete in this present moment, you're not even going to think of an outcome. Trust me, you're not even going to think of that person. It doesn't matter. It won't matter because you know who you are. Naturally from that place, you're like, of course I get everything I want. And I'm not even focused on one specific person or one specific outcome. Like I'm open to the unknown because I know that life is magical and I'm open to everything that life wants to give me. So I hope that gave you a little bit of perspective. Don't wait for your crush to come back. Instead, come back to yourself and love yourself.